Hello, and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I am Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to get the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Purr. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I am currently just drinking Sprite. It's not that kind of day today. And yeah, I just wanted to drink my little Sprite. But if I was drinking something a little bit hotter, maybe spicy, maybe I don't know, I don't know, smaller maybe, I would drink it out of my cup mug. And you know what? You can get your cup mug or any of our cup merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. And we do ship internationally and domestically. So there are no excuses. And I'm just looking at everybody. Anybody can get you one. Get you your cup merch. Support us. Period. And today I am here to talk about House of Villains, and I'm all alone. I was hoping I have some people to talk about House of Villains with, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's just me, and that's fine because I have thoughts. I have thoughts. So I don't want to be on the screen by myself. So I'm gonna do that. And yeah, we got a lot to talk about. We have episode 3 and episode 4 to talk about. Um, because we life was life in last week and we couldn't do it last week. So we're gonna get episode 3 and episode 4 out of the way today. So let's start with episode 3. And as you see by my cute little graphic here, we said bye bye to Jax. Jax had to go. Jax was the one. He was out. Jax is out. I'll fix that later. I didn't think it was that far over. But Jax is out. And yeah, that's what it is. And so after the banishment of Jax, everybody goes back upstairs out of the lair and it's late. So everybody's thinking, okay, cool, it's time to go to bed. We're gonna relax, we're gonna go to bed. It is what it is, right? Wrong. It's not that. Not that simple at all. They were sitting around, and Eva, the evil villain voice, or whatever, Eve, whatever it is, she came over and told everybody to meet them at the bar. And they go to the bar, and Joel is there to tell them that tonight they were having a party since they got over the first banishment. So they were gonna have a party, and it was like, cool, great, sure. And then uh, he cues the doorbell, and someone comes in a devil's mask and a robe, and they were supposed to try to guess who this person was by asking them questions. And come to find out, the person underneath the robe was Danielle from the Real Housewives of New Jersey, and she came in with the voice changer and the devil's mask. But that was just a little insight of what they were to do for this next challenge, which was they were all going to be wearing their own robes and masks, and they were to go to this party, mingle amongst all these other extras and other people to try to pick out who their villains were, their fellow villains were. So that's what it was. It was a masquerade ball, so to speak, but they had voice changers and they were covered, so you had to try to figure out who they were by talking to them and mingling with them. And yeah, that was that. So that was a challenge. And we go through, everybody's trying to mingle, figure out who people are, and mm, some people were throwing it. Omarosa said she was going to throw it because she didn't want to win supervillain 2 times in a row, and so she was going to throw it. And yeah, so some people wanted to win, some people kind of didn't, but yeah. So the party happens, everybody's mingling, doing their thing. And after it's over, Joel calls them over. They have to go vote by secret ballot to see who was who. And the winner of the challenge was Johnny Bananas. Johnny Bananas is now the super villain of the week. Yay. Yay for some, nay for others. I'm okay with it. I mean, sure. Yay, nay. Yeah, so Johnny Bananas wins. And yeah, that's what it is. It is what it is. So after Johnny is named the winner, of course everybody is like, oh well, now we have to kiss his butt. And it was it was fine. It was fine. But I mean, we all know Johnny Bananas. You know Johnny Bananas, you know he knows how to play these games. He definitely knows how to play a strategic competition game. And so certain things that would maybe work with some people probably wouldn't go work with others. But before we get into the next part of this, then the house guest, I mean the guest judge or guest person Danielle from her Housewives, um, she was just hanging around. Like she wouldn't leave. The party already started at like 11 o'clock. And she came in, and after the party was over, she was just hanging around, asking for tours of the house and talking to everybody and giving advice where nobody really asked her for. Like, girl, who are you? Like, that would have been me. Because I don't watch the Housewives franchise outside of a little bit of Atlanta that I saw. So I don't really watch the Housewives. So I would have been like, girl, who are you? And she could have told me who she was and what show she was from. I'm like, oh, okay. Still don't know who you are. But nobody asked for her unsolicited advice. Like she was telling Bobby, like, you need to not overtalk people and listen and you get so much better. It's like, baby, he didn't ask for that. They didn't ask for your advice. And then of course Bobby was like, honey, this is what I do. I overtalk people all the time. That's my brand. That's what I do. Nobody is ever out talk me. Like this is what I do. So mm, I'm a yeah, bye. So she ended up leaving until like 3 in the morning, and everybody was going to bed. Like everybody had left and went to bed, and she's just sitting down there like, "Hey, so where's everybody at?" I'm like, "Girl, go home, get a life, get out of here." But that was that was interesting and weird to me. I was like, "Okay, bye." But so the next day, of course, people are trying to figure out how to make sure Johnny doesn't vote for them or put them on the hit list. Some people are being nice. Some people are. Because Tiffany, before the even anything started, before Johnny even won hit list, I'm gonna go back and backpedal a little bit because the night before, um, Johnny was in a room with Corinne and they were talking, and Tiffany was in the next room, so she pretty much felt like she heard the whole conversation when she really didn't hear the whole conversation. She was hearing things that I don't know what she was hearing. But Johnny was upstairs in the room playing the guitar, and he was like, Corinne was like, so why are you up here alone? And she was like, oh, not, he was like, no reason. I just don't want to be downstairs. It's a little loud and people are loud. And it's crazy. I can't deal with it. For some reason, Tiffany heard New York is loud and dumb and I can't be around her. And so she's fuming. She is mad. She thinks Johnny is talking about her, that Johnny doesn't like her. When honestly, Johnny ain't saying nothing about her. He really ain't saying nothing about her. But she made it up in her mind that Johnny didn't like her and Johnny was saying something about her. And so he, the next day, she confronts him really, not even the next day, but like, she was just like, you said, that was the next day. She was like, you said that New York was loud and dumb and you don't like her, you don't want to be around her. And if you saying I don't like you, and that, she was going off on Johnny, like going off. And Johnny's like, I didn't even say that. Now you're just making stuff up. I didn't even say that. And so Corinne was like, he didn't say that. And she's like, whatever. I heard what I heard. I know what I heard. And you said what you said about me. And I don't like you. And da da da. All that for Johnny to win the next supervillain. So Tiffany was like, at this point, she knew. She knew she was going up. She was going to be on the hit list. And she was kind of just like, just losing it. To me, she was just kind of like losing it. She was going in. And so Johnny had to pick two people to go on his luxury trip with since he was supervillain. And so me personally, I thought he was gonna take Corinne and somebody, but he was like supervillain 101, rule number 100 and something. Keep your enemies close and your mortal enemies closer. So he ended up taking Tanisha, who he trusts, and Omarosa, who he don't really trust, but wanted to make sure she was not in the house to cause trouble or stir up anything. So he took both of them to and the thing was like you get ready to cuddle up or whatever. And they're like, you gonna take the two married people or yeah to cuddle or that's not happening. And he's like, yeah, I'm taking y'all. We going da da da. Because Johnny's here to play the game. He's not here to find no showmances and couple up and all that stuff. So he takes Tanisha and Omarosa and they end up going to this ranch and it was going to be animal therapy. I thought it was horses thing. And I would have been like, ugh, sure. But even me, I'm not a dog person, but it was dogs. They all just came and cuddled with the dogs. Like a bunch of dogs came running and little puppies. I mean, they were cute, but I'm not a puppy person, so I'm like, oh, yeah, ooh, okay, cute. Not a puppy person, but not a dog person anyway. But they loved it. They loved dogs. Omarosa was like a little. I've never seen Omarosa smile and genuinely smile and be happy as much as we did in this moment. But they all enjoyed it. It was nice food and nice time. Weather was nice, and they got to cuddle with puppies. So that was sweet. That was sweet. That was good. Cute. Yeah. And so they get back to the house and they're telling everybody about their day. Bobby has a little breakdown because he misses his dog. So to hear that he missed out on the dog, so it's kind of a little sad. But while they were there, Omarosa and Johnny was schooling Tanisha on the art of the blind side and how sometimes you have to make people feel like it's them when it's totally not them, and make other people feel super safe when it totally is them. And so Johnny was teaching him on the art of the blind side. And so he was like, it might happen tonight. It's probably going to happen tonight. And so when they get back to the house, um, Johnny finds a note in his room. And he says, Johnny, I don't know why you acting like this. People are going to turn on you or something like that. Something to that effect. Like the whole house is going to turn on you. And so he's like, oh, who sent this? Where'd this come from? Hmm. And it was written in like apparently girly handwriting. And so people were assuming it was Corinne. And Corinne is like, I didn't do it. I don't know who wrote the note. And so Johnny was kind of like, I mean, it's all pointing to you, Corinne, that you wrote this note. And I don't know what to say about this. But she's like, but you promised me that I was safe this week. You said I didn't have anything to worry about. Now you're going back. That is not fair. I didn't write the note. So she went off like, who wrote this note? I didn't write the note. Who wrote the note? Da da da. And so nobody was saying they wrote the note. And so, of course, she went upstairs and started crying again, like, this is so unfair. I can't. It's so unfair. Because that's what Corinne does. She gets mad and she starts crying. Cry. Cry. Y'all. So, I mean, I get she was upset because she felt like she was being framed, but I just, it's me. It's me. I'm the problem. I don't care about white women's tears. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's me. And I know it's me. And it is what it is. I'm not changing my thoughts. I just can't. It is what it is. And it's not just her, it's anybody. I just unless it's valid reasons. And I guess this is a valid reason if you feel like you're being framed. But I'm like, this is a game of villains. Of course, things are gonna happen where you probably go get framed for something that you ain't do. But it's a game. Play the game. She'll be like, okay, I didn't write this goddamn note, and I'm gonna find out who did. Come to find out, we did find out who wrote the note, and it was Johnny. I mean, and if you've seen anything of Johnny Bananas before, if you watch him on the challenge, he has done this before. He has gotten somebody with notes that he had pre-written before the show, and he's planted them, and people assumed it was somebody else. So he has done this before on the challenge, and it worked then, and he was hoping it'll work again. So, and I guess to some extent it probably did. I don't know. We'll see. So we get to the Tiffany one more time goes off on Johnny one more time and tell him he's going home before you are going home before I am. You amphibious reptile looking mother. Yeah, she said all that. And I mean, well, that's all this stuff is happening. Well, that happened afterwards. See, I'm jumping order around because nobody should have stopped me. But we do get the hit list. Let's start there. Let's go there. We do get the hit list, and we have he puts up New York. Obviously, that was going to be event after she went off on him. Um, he puts up Amphisa because Amphisa decided she wanted to make nice because Johnny was the supervillain, and so she didn't want him to put her up. But she made it so obvious that all she was trying to do was be nice to him because he was the supervillain, and she didn't want to put him up. Like she would give him no time of day before, and then now all of a sudden she's like, "Oh, you want me to run circuits with you? Oh, you want to work out with you? Oh, okay." And she's out there and she's in her little outfits, looking stunning, by the way. But she's just flirting and she's like, I just have to be nice. And it was obvious. It was very obvious what she was doing. And Johnny was like, that does not work for me. I don't care for it. I don't like it. It is what it is. So he put Anfisa up. And so then he pulls out the note and was like, this third one was tough because I had my mind made up until this point, and I got this note, and I I don't know, Corinne. It just seems like you wrote the note. And she's like, I didn't write this note. I didn't write the note. Who wrote the note? So she's going off, and he was like, Corinne. I mean, you're good, Bobby. You're up. So the hit list is New York and Fisa and Bobby. And Bobby was shocked. The blind side happened. Bobby was not happy about it. Um, he was shocked that Johnny did that. He thought they were cool. He's like, I thought we were cooler than that. And he was very upset. Very upset. And that's how episode 3 ended, with Bobby being nominated on the hit list, being very upset. And yeah, so episode 4 starts, and we go back to the lair, the villain's lair, and Bobby is like, "Are we done?" And they're like, "Nope, nope." And he was like, "I'm off," and he walks off. And he was like, I'm sick of this petty stuff. I'm at dinner. Anybody want supper? I'm done." And so Bobby's done. He's mad, and he's gonna eat. He's gonna cook. He's gonna cook. And Joel is like, "Well, that went off better than I thought." So everybody goes back upstairs, and Bobby's still annoyed, very upset. Um, Like I thought we were better than that. I thought he was cool. He a punk. He could have just told me that he thought I was a threat. Like I might be going up. Like I don't know why he didn't just tell me why he had to go about it like that. Yada yada yada. And I'm mad. And so he looks out the window. He's like, and Tanisha is a fake AB too. I don't curse, y'all. So he's like, Tanisha's fake too. Like she out there talking to him and da 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 da. So Tanisha and Johnny out there talking, and she's like, "Look, Johnny, I got your back. You my homeboy, you my roomie. I got your back." And Johnny's like, "Thank you. It's good. We're good." He actually really does trust Tanisha, and he wants to work with Tanisha, which I'm okay with. But Bobby's upset, and Tanisha goes back in the house, and it's kind of like, "Oh, it smells good in here, Bobby. Can I?" Worry like, "Can I eat?" He's like, "Yeah, you can eat." I mean, you out there talking to him and being fake and everything. She's like, "How am I being fake? I gotta talk to him, Bobby. He is my roommate." Bobby's like, "Oh, yeah, well, I guess so. Well, I don't want to talk to him." And so then Johnny comes in and he's like, and he's like, "Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me." He's like, "I just wonder if I can eat." And he's like, "Yeah, you can eat. I'm cooking. You can eat. But, just don't talk to me because you fake and you could have just told me, da da da." All in his feelings. Very much hurt. Very upset that Bobby put him up. Um, it was craziness, but he ate, and he told him it was rat poisoning in it or whatever, but it wasn't. It was cool. So we get a conversation with Omarosa and Johnny, and they're like, Johnny Fairplay, and he's like, "Can you believe this? We weren't even looked at. We are two of the original, like, king and queen of OG reality strategists, and they ain't even look at us." Woo. I was like, "Well, let's hug it out." They hugged it out. And she was like, "Well, you know what this means, though, right? We got to get Johnny out as soon as possible because he one that would come for us if we had a chance. So he needs to go as soon as possible." So they're like, mm. So I was like, "Ooh, okay." I kind of am liking this vibe with Johnny Fairplay and Omarosa, but it is what it is. So then we go to, that's when Tiffany goes off on. Tiffany does go off on Johnny at this point. I jumped ahead so much, but she goes off and calls and says she's going home before he is, and Johnny's like, well, in the position that we're in right now, where you and I are, you are on the block, and I have all the power. So no, I think you're going home. And so she's like, "Whatever, you amphibious reptile mother," all that. I said it before. That was it. So I was like, okay. So then we get the villains called to the interview room, that people on the hit list, and they get their challenge, their redemption challenge, which is you have to get people to do all of these tasks for you. And it was like 15 tasks on a piece of paper, and you can't alert them that these are tasks. So you just have to make them do it. and see if they can, if it'll get done. And so they get their task. They have 4 hours to complete these tasks, and whoever has the most points before special guests arrive will win the redemption challenge. And so they got um like I said, they all got their task and they went to work. They went to doing it. They were trying to get people to do. They had to do stuff like pour ketchup on somebody, spill a drink on a margarita on somebody, or spill a drink on somebody. Get somebody to hug you for 20 seconds. Get somebody to give you a massage. Um, get somebody to tell somebody that their outfit is ugly. Tell somebody that their breath stinks. Just different crazy tasks that they have to do. And so at first it was kind of like, okay, people were like doing stuff, wondering why they were asking them to do it, but they were doing it. And then Johnny Fairplay got a whiff of what was happening. And so he was like, ah, I see what's happening. He's like, and I was the one who um, sabotaged Jax last week. So maybe I'll sabotage New York this week and get her out of here. And like, okay, all right. So he caught a whiff of what was happening. So he went and told Johnny Bananas, was like, hey, this is a task. They're trying to get points, making people do things for them, or these little tricks and whatever they're trying to make people do. They get points. This is the redemption challenge, I think. It's the challenge. And he's like, you think so? He's like, yeah, I think this is the challenge. So we don't need to, do anything. And so people were catching on. He was really the only one that kept on until he told Johnny, and then Johnny was like, "Oh, okay, I see what's happening." And so it came down to Tiffany was trying to get Johnny to jump into the pool because one of the things was somebody needs to jump into the pool, and he was because first she asked Johnny Fairplay, he was like, "Nah, I'm not. It's not a pool day for me. I'm not getting in the pool." And so she was kind of like, "Johnny, you invited me to this pool party. Ain't nobody jumping in the pool. Somebody get in the pool." And so it could be an actual pool party. And so Johnny leaned over to Bananas and was like, say no, just say no. And so Bobby caught on that what Johnny was doing. He's like, why you saying just say no or whatever? Why you call? And she was like, so Tiffany, of course, loses it, flips out, like, fine, it ain't a pool party. I'm not. I'm out. So she storms out. I'm like, oh, God. um, and so then they get a message that a special guest will be joining them soon. And that's when the task is going to be over. And so, task over, special guest comes in, and it's Abby Lee Miller from Dance Moms. Yay. Yay. I know a lot of people love Dance Moms. I like Dance Moms. Yeah. Abby's there. And so she's like, I'm here to give you your redemption challenge where you're going to put on these um, tutus and we're going to come up with a dance, yada, yada, yada. So everybody's doing what she's saying because they think it's the challenge. And Bobby, New York, and Anfisa are the only people who know that it is not a challenge, that the challenge is already over. And so Abby's doing what Abby does, yelling at people and making sure nobody, just being Abby. And so after she gets them all to dance, she's like, okay. And you want to know who the winner of the challenge is? None of y'all, because I got you. I got you. This wasn't a challenge, you idiots. And it's like the challenge is already over, and people on the hit list already knew about it. And so she explained the challenge, and come to find out that the winner of the redemption challenge is Bobby Light. Bobby wins the challenge. He had 8 points. New York had 7 points. and Fisa had 6 points. So that's what happened. So Bobby is now off of the hit list, safe from elimination, and it's between New York and Anfisa. So during the whole redemption challenge thing, because Anfisa was, being trying to get people to get her. First of all, she's doing the redemption challenge. She was trying to get to complete the task, but then she was trying to get people to vote for her to stay, and she was flirting a little bit, being really nice to people like Shake, and Shake was pretty much falling for it, in my opinion. He was falling for it, and then got a little upset when he found out that it was just an act. Like she really wasn't feeling him. She was just doing that to try to get tasks done, and he was kind of upset, a little salty, seeing how she was flirting with Johnny too instead of just him. I'm like, okay. Talk about it. I lost a little respect for her. Some points went down for her. I'm like, you think she care about you, Shake? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The girl's not interested. She was just trying to get points. She's not interested in you. But he was a little salty because of that. And so he was kind of like, I don't really know how I feel about her. If she's willing to do that, what else is she willing to do? I'm like, play the game. That's what she's willing to do, is play the game. Is what we all came here to do, is play the game. But whatever. Shake was a little salty. So New York goes to ask him for his vote, and she's like, I will have your back. If you vote with me, I will have your back. And I will vote. I would not vote for you if you were in the same position. I would be a vote to save you. Da da da. All of that. And so he's like, okay. So he goes and talks to Anfisa, and she's kind of like, yeah, I did do that. It was part of the challenge. That's that. But she was, she was the epitome of, yes, girl, give me nothing. Like she gave nothing to that man, and it was she just gave him nothing and expected a vote. But Shake then turns around, go back to New York, and is like, "Yeah, I got you. I will vote with you. I got you." And she's like, "Oh, thank you. I need these votes. I need it. The people to keep me. Yada yada yada." Um. So after that, um, Corinne is talking to Johnny. This part was very Love Island, very Bachelor for me, because she's like, he's not gonna make a move, and I got this actually real crush on him, and I want him to kiss me, and he won't do it. So she was like, I gotta do it myself. So she's like, when are you gonna kiss me? And he was like, tonight. And she's like, right now. I'm horny. I want to kiss, and he's just laughing. And so they're flirting back and forth. It's whatever. It's whatever. So after the conversations happen, and take them all bowling, to go bowling for the day, to relax and blow off some steam. And while they're at the bowling alley, Omarosa takes Tanisha back to the billiard room, and she's like, "So we need to figure out what we're gonna do. Who are you thinking?" And Tanisha's like, "I don't really know. I'm trying to figure it out. I just don't have a plan right now. I just wanted to bowl. I just came here." And so Omarosa's like, "Well, you gotta think of something, girl. We gotta have some kind of plan." And Tanisha's kind of like, "Ugh, I'm tired of talking. Just I'll figure it out. I just don't know right now." So Tanisha walks, and she's like, "Oh, I just want Omarosa to leave me alone." She's telling this to Bobby. She's like, "I just want Omarosa to leave me alone." And so Bobby's like, "You want me to tell her to stay out your business?" And she's like, "Yes," because she's all up in my business. I really just want to relax. I just really want to chill out. I don't really want to do this. And I'm like, I understand Tanisha. Tanisha's kind of like, I don't want to talk about this game right now. I don't want to think about the vote right now. Came here to bowl. Let's just bowl. Let's just have a good time. Let's just bowl. But this is House of Villains, so the game never stops. And so Bobby comes out, and he's like, Tanisha wants you to stop talking about her, to stay out her business, to Omarosa. Like, Tanisha wants you out her business. And she's like, oh, okay. All right, then. I see how it is. Tanisha's okay. And she's like, seeing Tanisha's reaction just shows me that I can't work with her, that she's against me. And so if she's against me, then, she has to go and all this other stuff. And so then Tanisha comes back and she's like, Omarosa's like, plant, it's loud and clear. I heard what you said. She was like, Omarosa, please. She's like, no, I'm gonna stay out your business. I'm gonna stay out your business, girl. And she's like, so then Tiffany decides to pipe up and be like, Tanisha, if you want to vote me out, just say that. And she's like, what? Girl, sis, I'm not even talking to you. She's like, no, I'm just saying, you want to vote me out. You talk about stay out your business if the business is the vote. And I just want to know what it is. She's like, I ain't saying nothing to you. I ain't saying nothing about the vote. I don't want to talk about it. She's like, no, because you want to vote me out, then just say that. So she's like, you are weird. And of course, New York is like, I am weird. Yeah, I'm weird. I'm weird. She was doing the washing machine. I'm weird. I'm weird. I'm like, oh my God. She's like, I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. Yeah, I am. She's like, girl, if you don't get my face. She was like, go get the pots and pans. She was like, I don't need pots and pans. I don't need that. All I'm saying is, I don't want nobody in my business. I'm done. I ain't talking about it no more. She's like, I'm not talking about it no more. And it was just a crazy, crazy thing. Johnny is like, we are in public, and I was hoping we act like adults, but I guess not. I'm like, a cast of House of Villains, people on TV, they know what they want. They giving good TV. They giving TV that they think people want to see. Which, since I'm here talking about it, we kind of want to see it. So the drama is crazy, but we're here for it. We live for the stupid reality drama that happens on trips, on nights. It's what we are here to watch. So um then we get I think we're back to the layer for me in my head. That's right. I'm back at the layer because now it's time for the vote to um send someone home. And we have a little flashback of Omarosa's conversation with Visa, trying to help her with a speech to say to the house. And Visa pretty much says the speech back verbatim, like, I I am not a woman of many words, but the words that I do say come from my heart. And she's starting to feel connected to people now. She feels like she's opening up more, coming out of her shell more, and so she's talking more. And she feels like she has a connection with people now. And it's a very sad moment that she might have to leave today. And so she's a little sad. She's a little sad about it. But she's like, the words that I speak come from my heart. And I really want to show you that I do belong here and want to stay. Very sweet, very nice words. And then New York was like, mm, mm. I am the original HBIC, and I deserve to be here. I I earned my spot here, and I don't want a sympathy vote. I want the vote because I deserve it. I want you to vote for me because I deserve to be here, and I want to be here, and all that stuff. So she's like, I deserve it, yada yada yada. And so then Omarosa was like, oh, so you don't want my vote? You don't want my sympathy vote? Tiffany's like, girl, I don't want no sympathy vote. I want it to be because I deserve it. She's like, oh, so I mean, you just saying that you don't want my vote. So why do I need to? And so Tiffany was like, and you know what else, Omarosa? It feels real. She's like, she went on a tyrant. Some things I am not going to say because I don't speak those words. But she basically called Omarosa the C word, So it says she was a, a sea guzzling, you know, ejaculation guzzling, um, Republican, mm, and she sleeps better knowing she is no longer in the White House. I was like, y'all can see the rant. It's on Twitter. It's on everywhere. Everybody's talking about her breed of Omarosa. It was very classic Tiffany. A very classic Tiffany. And very classic New York, I'll say. And she went in. She went in on Omarosa and was like, and that's how I feel. And so Omarosa's like, oh, well, okay. All right then. Joel said, well, it's time to vote. Omarosa said, can I go first? Can I go first? Because I already know. I already know. So we go into the voting, and Omarosa, of course, votes for Tiffany for New York to lead. Like, bye, New York. And then Bobby goes in, was like, I got your back, New York. I promised you I would. Votes for and Fisa to go. We don't see any of the other votes, but Johnny says Johnny Fairplay was like, bye, New York, whatever. And so other people were saying this is hard and not so hard. So the vote happens. Joel reveals the votes, and by a vote of 4-2, New York has been eliminated. And she's screaming because now she's strapped to the chair and she knows what's about to come. And she's screaming, and Joel's like, any final words you have to say before you leave? And she was like, F all you fake bees. And so Johnny was like, he's like, Johnny. And so Johnny was like, New York, pride comes before destruction, all this other stuff. And Tiffany is like, F you, Johnny. And he hits the button, and Tiffany is whoop up through the wall, in the wall, flipped up. There she goes. Bye, New York. So Bobby is like, y'all all some fake bees in New York. Tanisha was like, Bobby, shut up. Shut up. Anybody's saying y'all just so fake. And that's how it ends. We get a preview for next week, and we see um their Shake going to Bobby was like, did you vote for New York? Because I voted for New York. And Bobby's like, the one thing, villain 101, don't trust me. Because, baby, I'm going in. So we do, and they show a preview of the challenge, which is they all have a big block of ice and something is in the middle, and they have to try to use their bodies to melt the ice. Yep. So we're going to see some interesting movements, gyrations going on this next challenge. We get some parting words from Tiffany saying she'll be back. She don't care. She always around. She'll always be here, even if you're going home. She'll be back. Period. I have to say, I still love this show. I love this show. I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying it for the foolishness, the petty banter, the the, the stupid drama. I'm a fan of the stupid drama. This is very nostalgic of the stupid drama that we used to get before. It's fun. It's fun. It's not supposed to be some thought provoking, you know. I don't really. I'm not that invested in people. Like I hate anybody. Anybody can leave at this point. Anybody can stay at this point. I have I have people I like who maybe more than I like others, but I don't hate anybody. I'm like, oh, whoever wins is going to deserve a win, and it's going to be funny to see. So I'm interested to watch. I can't wait till next week's episode, and we will be back next week to talk about episode 5. We'll be back on schedule. We'll be here to talk about all of episode 5. Hopefully, we'll have more people with me to talk about it. Um, and while you're here, hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, the shares, the follows. We appreciate you. I appreciate you. The Cup TV is a new channel and we're trying to grow. We got content coming out on a regular basis. So you really want to hit that notification bell to let you know when we drop a video, because that's pretty much almost every day we drop a video. Almost. And follow us on our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, because we have some very funny moments that we like to share. So check us out on all of our socials. Go follow us on our main channel at the Cut Pod. If you are into anything drag, we talk about all of it. Every season of all the drag shows that's out there, we're talking about it. And get your cup mug. The link is in the description below, but I'll say it right now for you. LanaG'sCreations.etsy.com. Get your cup mug or any of our cup merch that's out there. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. And see you next week. Bye.